Hi guys, thanks for joining me again today. I have another video for you. This is called Project Bookshelf. I got this idea after watching a video that Stamey put out, and she got the idea for hers from another YouTuber named, I want to say it's Skar, but I'm not positive. I just subscribed to her channel last night, so I can't remember for sure. If it's not Skar, I will put the proper name in a little bubble up here, and also I'm going to link Joe's video below in the description box and Angela's video below in the description box, so you can check out their Project Bookshelf also. But the whole thing came about from Project Pan. I sent Joe a message where I said she had done like her Project Pan update, and how she said that she kind of just felt like project panning her whole life. Like, that's kind of what I'm going through right now also. I just feel this crazy urge to purge. You know what I mean? Urge to purge. I just want to declutter my mind. I want to declutter my house. I want to declutter my life. I just want to declutter everything. I want organization and simplicity and yada yada yada. So one of the things that I have as much makeup of is books. I mean, I have as many books as I have makeup. It's ridiculous. And so I know people say like, oh, I have tons of books. And I know there are people that collect huge amounts of books. My husband and I, we have always been big readers. He has a used book business. So we have thousands and thousands and thousands of books. And I don't read them all by any means, and I don't want to read them all, but I get a lot, like, people trade in things and stuff like that, and I pick out what I want, and I'll read it, give it back to him, or I keep it if I feel like it. But I also had like my own that I purchased on my own, and so my books are kind of out of control. Most of them are stored in our garage in bins, but we have a lot in the house too. And like I said, with my urge to purge, I'm just trying to weed things out, get things under control a little bit. And so what I decided to do was, the whole point of the Project Bookshelf was to pick like a certain number of books per month and read them, and you know, just start going through your giant piles of books that you have to be read. If you hear lawnmower outside, I apologize, that's my husband. I closed the window hoping that that would cut down on the noise a little. But what I decided to do also is, at the end of the month when I finish the books, I might just get rid of them or give them to my husband to sell in his store, or just keep them, you know, or give them to friends, whatever. I'm not going to keep. My goal is to at least give away, get rid of in some way, shape, or form one of like the 3 that I choose to read every month. Some months I might read more than 3. Some months I might only read 2. I know, like, I think Joe's trying for 3 a month, and it's no big deal for me to read 2 or 3 books a week, but I've kind of cut down with the summertime. My husband and I have been doing a lot of other things. We've spent a lot of time outside, so my reading has taken like a back burner. So for the month of August, I have 2 books that I want to read completely and 1 book that I want to finish up. So I'll show you guys what they are, and just explain it. And then at the end of August or beginning of September, I'll come back and I'll tell you, you know, whether or not I completed the books and everything. So this isn't like a book review or anything like that. It's just basically kind of like a makeup basket, but instead it's a book basket, you know. Yes, monthly book basket. That's what that's what I should call it, right? So the first book I have, I've actually had it for a really long time. My husband bought it for me, and from Edward R. Hamilton, and I've been reading like bits of it here and there for a long time, but I never just like sat down and read it cover to cover. And if you're a makeup lover, this is a really interesting book to have. It's called Max Factor: The Man Who Changed the Faces of the World. Let me show it to you guys. So what it is, it's like basically a biography of Max Factor, and how he basically single-handedly is responsible for the fact that I wear all this on my face and you wear all that stuff on your face. Because what he did was, he took the makeup and transitioned it from just being used on stage and screen into everyday products that the average woman wears on her face. You know, he was the first person to make lipsticks, manufacture like multiple tubes of lipstick. He was the first person to open up a beauty store that somebody could just come in off the street and buy their makeup in Hollywood. I mean, he did a lot. He totally revolutionized the whole makeup industry. And so, excuse me, this book is really, really, really interesting. It's got a lot of really interesting facts about old movie stars, and I know some of you guys, Angel, are really interested in these old silver screen glamorama beauty type women. There's a lot of pictures in here of those women and how he did their makeup and little like tidbits of gossip about them and stuff like that. It's just a really, really, really interesting book. I especially love how he made, like I said, lipsticks get mass manufactured, face powders, wigs, all that kind of stuff. It's just a really, really, really interesting, interesting book to read. So I'm halfway through. I decided I'm going to finish it. So you can see I got a little bookmark in there. I'm halfway through right now. So I'm going to finish this one up, for August. And then I probably will keep that one. I'm not going to say for sure, but I probably will. So, okay, moving on. I don't want to spill these. I don't want to make a mess. Let me fix my pile here. The next one is actually, excuse me, my nose is running. The next one is actually a reread. This is a big honkin' horror novel, Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. And I can tell you for a fact I'll be keeping this one because I bought it for my husband as a gift when we were dating. It's a first edition, and this is one of his favorite books ever. So I will be keeping it. Now, I have read this before, and it is really, really, really good. It's probably one of the best horror novels that I've ever read, so I was in the mood to reread it because I haven't read it in a couple of years. Well, more than a couple. I'd say probably, I think I read it for my husband, or when I bought it for my husband, I read it before I gave it to him. So that's probably 7-8 years ago. And it's just a really, really, really good, gripping horror novel. But isn't just all horror. I mean, it's got some poignant moments in it too. And I am a huge horror fanatic. I love horror movies. I love horror books. I love the horror genre. I have a very high scare threshold because when you are like, your life is saturated with horror, you get a really high scare threshold. You know, not a lot scares you. You're like, I've read that, seen that, done that, blah, blah, blah. This book is scary. I mean, that's the only word I can use to describe it. It's really, really scary. I can tell you that when I read it the first time, I was living, you know, by myself, and at nighttime, I had the creeps. You know, I was like, dang, there's some scenes that really creeped me out. So I'm looking forward to getting back up into this book again. I really, really, really want to read it again. And like I said, be keeping that one because it was a first edition gift from me to my husband. And that way, if we ever have the chance to meet Dan Simmons, he'll probably have him sign that. Okay, and then my third book is, this is kind of like, I'm late to the game on this one. The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. I know that, you know, like I said, I'm late to the game on this whole dragon tattoo thing. I read the first two, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and The Girl Who Played with Fire. I already read those. I read them, it's been this year though, so I probably read them in the winter time. And then I kind of held off because I was waiting for a copy of this to come into my husband's business, or I thought maybe I'd find it at a garage sale or something, and I never did. People must really hold on to this one. So finally, I just gave up and I bought it off of eBay last week, and it came. So I already kind of started that too. I'm just a couple pages in though, so you can see my bookmark. So I'm just, yeah, like I said, I'm just a couple pages in. So, and if it's anything like the first two, I really like those two. I thought they were a tad convoluted though, so they were slower for me to get through because the plot had so many twists and turns and characters. Sometimes I had to go back and double check or reread a paragraph, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm sure this one will probably be similar like that. So between this one and The Summer of Night by Dan Simmons, that'll probably last me, you know, the majority. It'll take me a little while. And then the Max Factor one I'll bang out in no time at all. But we also have company coming the last week of August, so I don't think I'll probably be doing too much reading that week. So pretty much I have, you know, just the first 3 weeks of the month to get these books done. So, yeah, that's it. That's my project bookshelf. Weekly book basket, monthly book basket, I don't know, something. I just, I just thought it seemed like a really fun idea. You know, when you have huge piles of books that you want to read, but you just keep buying more and more and more. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm going to try to do a no-buy on my books now. The only exception to that will be if one that's in a series I collect, if one comes out, then I will buy that because I have all the others. But as far as just shelling out $1 here, $3 here, $4 there, stuff, I'm going to try not to do that. Personally, I'm going to try not to buy any more for a while. So I'm trying to do a no-buy on books, and I want to get rid of a lot. And like I said, of the 3 or 4 that I pick for each month, I'm going to try to at least get rid of one of the ones I pick, unless I want to keep them all. All right, you guys, so thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Leave questions or comments below, and like I said, I will link Josette's Project Bookshelf video in the description box, and also Angela's in the description box below. So thank you guys, I appreciate it.